Good morning, my name is Byron Drew from Weather Commerce, and this is this morning's weather brief on Monday the 19th of December. Today's weather brief will include a generalized longer-term temperature forecast across most of Western Europe, followed by a more specific temperature forecast for both the UK and Europe, followed by Scandinavian precipitation, and finally global weather alerts. Starting with a generalized look at your extended temperature forecast through the 9th and the 15th of January, during which time the majority of Northern Europe is expected to trend above climate normal for this time of year, with the likes of the UK and the northern portions of Germany trending as much as 2 degrees above average. Scandinavia will also see a particularly warm spell, with temperatures trending 3, 4 or even 5 degrees above climate normal. This warm spell is mostly due to warm air expected to be drawn into the northern portions of Europe from further south, associated with a high-pressure system in the western portions of the Mediterranean and over the Iberian Peninsula. And overall, similar conditions are likely to lead to similarly above-average temperatures for most areas for the first week of the new year, with temperatures in places like the UK trending as much as 2 degrees above average, and the southern portions of France trending perhaps 0 or 1 degree above average. Meanwhile, temperatures in many southern and southeastern parts are likely to trend nearer to and perhaps even below average, as is illustrated by the latest ECMWF 32-day forecast for Austria, with the temperature forecast indicated by the horizontal red lines indicated significantly below climate average for this time of year. And now for a more detailed look at your temperature forecast across the UK over the next 2 to 15 days. Starting with the period around day 15 of the forecast, and around the 1st and 2nd of January, temperatures in the UK are expected to trend near to climate average, despite a good agreement and consistency between all available shorter-term forecast models for temperatures to trend significantly above average for the last part of the year. I therefore have reduced confidence in the ECMWF 32-day forecast for the UK due to lack of consistency between the forecast and the shorter-term models. Between days 11 and 15, temperatures across the UK are likely to trend between 0 and 1 degree above climate average. That's despite significant model divergence, with both the GFS ensemble model and the Metro model indicating below average temperatures, although I favour the well-performing ECMWF ensemble model through the period. This model divergence is clearly illustrated by our latest UK model comparison graph, where my own particular temperature forecast is indicated by the red line, indicating temperatures near to and slightly above average between days 11 and 15. There are far higher levels of model agreement between days 6 and 10, with all available forecast models indicating temperatures trending between 3 and 4 degrees above normal in the UK, with temperatures generally expected to begin cooling back down to normal after the 26th of December. And finally, in the very short term, the next 2 to 5 days are likely to see a particularly mild spell of weather in the UK, with temperatures expected to trend between 4 and 6 degrees above normal for this time of year, with excellent model agreement and consistency for a distinct warming trend throughout the UK till the 22nd of December. And now for a look at the forecast across the rest of Europe. And between days 11 and 15, there is a significant amount of model divergence throughout most parts of Western Europe, although in general, correlation is good between the Metro model and the well-performing ECMWF ensemble, indicating temperatures trending between 1 and 2 degrees above climate normal through the likes of France, Switzerland, Germany and Benelux, although temperatures are likely to trend slightly closer to normal into the Iberian Peninsula, trending between 0 and 1 degree above average in Spain, and temperatures are likely to trend near average through Italy and into Austria. And that trend for near average temperatures in Austria through days 11 and 15 is well supported by our latest Austria model comparison graph. While similarly, there is good model agreement and consistency in France for temperatures to trend above average between days 11 and 15. There is increased model agreement between days 6 and 10 for temperatures to trend between 2 and 3 degrees above normal for this time of year through France, Benelux and Germany, and between 0 and 1 degrees through Switzerland and into Spain. Meanwhile, further to the southeast, temperatures are likely to trend near to and perhaps slightly below average through Italy and Austria. The trend for above average temperatures through many parts of Western Europe is well illustrated by our latest France model comparison graph, where, with the exception of the ECMWF deterministic forecast, all other available forecast models, including my own particular temperature forecast indicated by the red line, signal temperatures trending above average between days 6 and 10. And finally, in the short term, between days 2 and 5, there is an east-west split in the temperature anomaly forecast for Western Europe, with temperatures through Benelux, France and Spain expected to trend between 2 and 3 degrees above average, while temperatures through Switzerland and Germany are likely to trend between 0 and 1 degree above average, and even further to the south and east through Italy and Austria, temperatures could trend as much as 2 or even 3 degrees below normal for this time of year, with the average temperature between days 2 and 5 in Austria likely to be below freezing. The latest Austria model comparison graph helps to illustrate how cool the forecast is likely to get in Austria, with temperatures dropping as low as -3 degrees before temperatures start to warm back up, approaching average by the 24th and 25th of December. And now for Scandinavian precipitation, where precipitation totals are likely to be near to and above average through most parts of northern Sweden and Finland over the next week, while significant precipitation accumulation along the Norwegian coastline could bring up to 100 or 125 millimeters of precipitation through the 7 days, representing 4 or even 5 times the normal accumulation through a 7-day period for this time of year. And in the slightly longer term, between the 26th of December and the 3rd of January, this fairly heavy precipitation accumulation along the Norwegian coastline is likely to persist, along with more moderate precipitation accumulation elsewhere in Scandinavia. And now for global weather alerts, starting with the US temperature anomaly forecast over the next 7 days. And over the next 7 days, temperatures in the northeastern half of the United States are likely to trend above average to potentially well above average, with temperatures in parts of the upper Midwest and the southeast trending as much as 8 or even 12 degrees Fahrenheit above what is normal for this time of year. Meanwhile, temperatures in the southwestern half of the United States are likely to trend below average to potentially well below average over the next 7 days. And now into southern Asia, where fairly heavy precipitation is likely along the coastal areas of Vietnam, bringing above average precipitation accumulation for this time of year, although in many other areas, below average to potentially well below average accumulation totals are likely over the next 7 days. And finally, in East Asia, temperatures throughout most parts of China and Japan are expected to trend below average to potentially well below average over the next 7 days. And that's all for today's weather brief. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.